Så hej och välkommen till träff nummer 4 av vår seminarier Digitala satsningar i en postcovid-era. Presentationen kommer att vara på engelska, för våra gäster kommer från Mexiko och de är Miguel Jara som konstnär och forskare som presenterar Submarina projekt. Och Submarina är en utbildningsplattform för miljöfrågor som främst har syftat till att skapa utrymmen för reflektion, dialog, konstnärlig erfarenhet, utbildning och möten i samband med vår påverkan som konsumenter och behovet av andra vänner när det gäller hanteringen av den avfall som vi genererar med konsumtion. Och Miguel Jara, som jag sa, är konstnär och forskare och han är den som har följt och gett kroppen till Submarina sedan 2016 och hon kommer att presentera projekt snart. Och efter vi kommer att se och höra Karina och Andres från Fundación Pasos som grundades för 16 år sedan med målet att förstå olika typer av förändring i barnsutvecklingen och att försöka integrera den socialt med hjälp av olika resurser som terapi, konst och förbildning. Karina är arbetsterapeut med inriktning på barnmedicin och Andres är musiker. Så Karin kommer också att prata lite.
Ja, hej. Mitt namn är Karin Eriksson och jag är projektledare för KUBN och vi är väldigt glada att vi kan göra det här samarbetet med Havremagasinet och deras projekt Zoom. Men vi ska egentligen låta Miguel fortsätta samtalet och så får vi höra på vad han har att säga. Och så efteråt är det 20 minuter frågor.
Hi everybody, good morning. Thank you for the invitation to Havremagasinet Länskonsthall and KUBN, for you too, Maria Angela, Daniel and Karin. Thanks a lot for the invitation and to open the space for me to share what we do here in Submarina. I'm talking to you from Mexico. I also appreciate the people that has been connected to the event for the interest about what we do here. And well, I think that we were gonna have some questions section at the end. So I will be really happy to answer to any of the questions you have. And well, I will just start my timing because I brought a lot of images that I would really like to be able to share them all to you because, well, besides stories of Submarina, there's a lot of images. Well, I'm the director of Submarina. That's the conventional way to refer to the labor I do in Submarina, but I feel myself like a companion of what Submarina is, like an entity. You know, I've seen Submarina manifesting, and even before it burns, she burns, she gets burned. I've been just companion and trying to help for it to manifest in the best ways possible. I'm not the only person that's part of the team. As you see here, we are 4 people. It's Miguel, myself, and also Gabriela, Monica, and Genaro that are not connected right now. But we are a team that have different skills, and we are making different and offering different talents and labor to this project. Submarina born in 2016 in Mexico in a semi-desertic area called San Miguel de Allende. And well, I want to share with you some part of the story, but mainly what we do and some experiences and how was some experiments that we made during the COVID era or pandemic time or lockdown time that might be for your interest. Submarina, well, I want to introduce something about the presentation itself. I decided to put some like keywords at the right side here in yellow. So all of the sections of my presentation will have some keywords for you to be able to have them. And also, if you have some question that maybe I don't mention something you're interested in, you can just ask me in the question section at the end of the event. Well, I just want to share with you what Submarina is in general terms in this moment. Is like a environmental education nomadic project. Yeah, we are traveling in Mexico. We have been in different states just making the work that we do. And it has been evolving since 2016 to mainly 2020, because the pandemic just stops our activities until the moment, and we are waiting maybe next year, hopefully, to be back on the road. And well, some of the key subjects, or the way we get closer to the subject of environmental education are exposed here. One that's made, well, a combination of subjects that's very important for us is just try to improve or promote empathy with the planet, with nature, with water itself, to promote the respect and the well use of that important entity, that sacred being that water is. And but it is also related with try to connect through arts with fantasy, way to generate like a beautiful feeling in people, but also trying to promote commitment of people in terms of their daily life, and in terms of management of the waste materials that they produce in the houses, on how, or mainly how to connect with that, with the debris and with the consumption of products itself. So there is a big part of responsibility as consumers that we are trying to promote in the people that go to Submarina. And we are traveling. The idea of this is the project itself, well, Submarina is not properly a project, but it inherits out from the arts a lot of the how the arts work, a lot of its mobility. So this is like a platform that's traveling, those installing itself in different places of Mexico and working in different contexts. And well, I will tell you more in relation of the different dimensions of Submarina in the rest of the presentation. Yes, and we are mainly in the whole field of environmental education. We are focused mainly on plastic pollution, and as I told you, like trying to promote responsibility and empathy, responsibility as consumers and empathy with underwater ecosystems and water bodies. This is, well, there are some images. This is the very first sketch of Submarina years ago, when it was just an idea. This is myself in the place where Submarina get born. That's in San Miguel de Allende, an old building. I won't speak that much about the story of Submarina, just I will give some stories. I'm sorry, my camera got damaged, and so you're not able to see me in live, but well, I just put some pictures of me for you to have an idea of how I look. And this is some images from videos, just to remember the beautiful and weird world that we share, and that to remember that this planet is mainly underwater. So it's not a human planet, no, it's not even a mammal planet, but it's mainly an underwater ecosystem planet. But that's so like weird and different from ours, so and so beautiful. That is one of the main interests in to be more empathic about like how we are responsible with these beings. Yes, that we are just throwing a lot of things to water, and it's because of the way that nature works, a lot of the water just runs to the ocean. And well, these creatures are receiving a lot of what we do in all the places that we inhabit as humans. But well, let's start. And well, the first part that composed Submarina, well, the earliest, it's not the the most important, but has been very important part, and it was like the very first part that existed of Submarina. Is like an art installation that we built with the collaboration of several people, and this installation is made out of waste materials. Maybe it's a big exercise of upcycling. I'm come from visual arts. That's one of my backgrounds. And out from it, I have some skills on sculpting and just art project managing and that. And so I've been investing all this in the Super to Submarina to manifest the best. Well, the same here, some keywords at the side and some pictures. So what you see here is the entrance of the installation. This is like mainly VHS straps that are just blocking for you to know what's behind of them. So at the very beginning, when Submarina started, and it was not particularly presented as an environmental education platform, it was presented as a fantasy beyond a portal. You know, it was the idea to make a place where the experience is so different and new and surprising and unknown, because we were interested to take people of non like city areas to like aesthetic experience, but an aesthetic experience that's more inclusive in terms that it is open for more people that's not mainly related with arts or that, but just also to offer like an aesthetic and surprising experience for people in general. So the portal was so important, and so that's the way why I wanted to start with this, just for you to have like a little kind of try of how it works. Here you see how it works. It's just a lot of VHS tape tied in the entrance, and as you cannot see the people that's behind, people is not able to see inside. I will be showing you pictures of different setups that we have been doing in different places, cities and towns here in Mexico. This is a big, as I told you, it's a big exercise of upcycling. Upcycling refers to the fact to take something, a material, and use it again in another way, to give it another function. Yes, not reusing it or recycling it, but upcycling it. Yes, like giving another function to it. As you see here, this is mainly a lot of straws. All of these were like waste materials. This is another creature of Submarina. Submarina is the installation has how you say, is influenced by the underwater world. Yeah, we were trying to mimic a little bit of what could be like a plastic ocean or something like that. This is different setups, all of them in different places, in tiny cultural places, in museums, in galleries. It's been a lot of different places where it has been, so different places. Yeah, a lot of lights. As you can see, what we do in places is that we just take everything dark and just for the lights to be like more powerful. And there's a lot of black lights, a lot of LED lights, and these are the kind of creatures. This is a performing character, a creature that was inhabiting the very first setup that we made, the first montage that we make in San Miguel. All the costumes were also made by like upcycling waste materials. This is another one. And it has been beautiful to be like going with Submarina to different places, because maybe the pictures are not that powerful as to be there, because it's very cozy to be there, and it's weird. It's also like a kind of bar, and there's a lot of like children has been the main public that we have had, and so the gate, the maze, all people got go inside, go to the maze, because it's really surprising to go suddenly to something like that, and the lights are very important. So this is the entrance of another setup that we made. This is another one that we make in Fundación Pasos. That's the next presentation after ours, after mine, they will speak, but this was one collaboration that we make at their space. We have this beautiful, huge space. This is another one. So as I told you, there are so many pictures. And this is a special piece. I wanted to focus on this. This is a fish school. And this is a piece. This is one of the fishes. This is daylight. Yes, for you to have an idea how the creatures look in terms of the upcycling. This is some sketches, initial sketches of years ago. Well, we cleaning the trash, more sketches. It was the planning of the first one. Sorry if I'm going fast, but yeah, I have to rush a little bit. And as cities nomadic, I want to share you how it looks when it is not installed. It looks like this. This is Submarina in pajamas. That's sleeping. This is the octopus, and that's the way it travels. Besides the installation, we start to realize in a moment that we need the installation itself was not able to share really like reflection about the subjects that we were interested in, because, well, it could be like really open the sensibility of people and the people get surprised and amazed at what it was, but we needed to have information. We need to have particular information about the subjects that I told you before, yeah, and the management of waste, empathy, critical situation, materials, all that. So decided that we need, besides the installation, we did an information room. And that was also like a multi-use room to develop activities, workshops, and that, just complementing the installation itself. So these are some pictures of the material and the happenings with the material. So in the places that we travel, the way it has been working is that we try to find volunteer people, because, well, we haven't had that much of budget the times that we do it, so it hasn't been enough money to share with everybody that get part. But in all the places, there is a lot of people that, because of their particular interest, they share their time and they offer like guided visits to she's Daphne. This was in Acapulco, Mexico, and she was there almost all days of the week. She's very young. She's in her early 20s, and she was offering a lot of guided visits to a group of people that you see here. So presenting all the infographies that we have here, this kind of information that is mainly focused on processes of what happens with the waste after you litter it or after you left it in the house. And it has been mainly collaboration with people. We give some basic information for them to share, but the most of the time they start to research themselves and to get ways to manage the groups. This is another group in another place called Milpa Alta. That's a rural area here in Mexico City, and the public that we have is just mainly groups of children and youngsters from schools. As you see here in this place was very tiny place. It was like a community museum. And what we do is also to mix. In this one, we have a beautiful big museum to do it. So we have these two areas of the installation and the information area. But in this one, by example, we just mix them. Yeah, so we have these billboards just on the walls in the very installation for the people to be able to read them. And well, the language that we use for sharing this information is not that technical, is not that professional. Our bet is better for people to understand and take the things into a language that's easy for the people, independent of the age, independent of the cultural context, independent of the education. Well, this is an example. I know that maybe for you Spanish is not a familiar language, but this is the kind of billboard that we have, and well, the kind of subjects that we are trying to promote in people. All of this is like very kind of experimental in terms of we're trying to make our best, but we are learning in the process itself. One thing in relation to information that has been so important for us is try not to get really gore in terms of what the kind of information that we share, because in terms of the collapse that we are living or the sad situations that are just all around related with the plastic pollution, as the animals filled with plastic, or the rivers just rotten by plastic or foam, or all those kind of images, we are trying to avoid like these kind of images that are so impressive and maybe powerful, but we think that in terms of respect, because and sensibility, because not all people has the stomach to process that kind of information, even if it is real. Is something that for us has been important, not to not to be sharing in the face of people, because sometimes it can feel so like intrusive. So that's another position that we have had as Submarina team. As you see here, this is a billboard that we made with some hashtags for people to search in internet for different campaigns or different groups of people here in Mexico, for the people to just research more, just to open more. And in this kind of space, we are really interested into people to speak, tell stories, to speak with us, to speak among them. Yes, just to fit people to speak about the problem. Yeah, that has been also another interest. This is like information about how long the different materials of the trash last, for the proportion, and to know that maybe some of these products last for centuries or millennials is just insane, you know, like all the numbers. This is a part of ¿Qué podemos hacer? That means what will we do? And there's like advices or what we can do. This is like a map of what's the different circuit of what happens with this kind of packages or materials that are produced by industry, and how's the life of that, you know, and some of the just last in polluting or contaminating places. Some things just go to compost, or, you know, this is a kind of map that we did just to explain people and to tell people what that littering, that put the waste or the trash in the place is not enough, because after the trash get the can or the garbage can, there is a process behind it that's related with a lot of infrastructure, social infrastructure, and also like normal wind and water system as rivers that just take that to the ocean, and that's it, and etc. And this is more pictures about this beautiful information multi-use room that we had at that vantage, that setup. Another thing that we do as a nomadic platform is that when we arrive to a context, we make a research about who's doing something in terms of also eco-social working. So we start to make like connections with different organizations, independent organizations, NGOs from the locality, and to make connections and collaborations for them to take advantage of Submarinas and to make activities in the context of Submarina, no? Because the installation is like a spectacle, and like people want to see it. Yes, it's something artistic, it's something that people can go and enjoy and that. So that's a good hook to get people to see the activities that we do. This is and so to connect with people of the localities, different organizations has been so beautiful, because the people of the locality has been making a particular contextual work in relation to ecological and social intersection. So they speak about like the context problems related with that, or they are making a try out from their own sensibilities. And it's always amazing to find people and to meet people that's doing some interesting stuff. This is a project called Sirens for the Oceans. And there are these two women that you see here. These guys have, this is voluntary, they just made it by themselves. They existed in that place when we arrived, and it's a touristic place, so they go dressed like this, and they sit in restaurants or places in the beach, and they start to speak with people about the importance of take care of the ocean, of the beaches, not to be that just littering trash all over. And yes, they start to make that campaign by themselves. And what we do is that, by example, if we have the space of 2 months to have Submarina installed in a place, so we try to find at least eight groups of people, organizations that are working in the area for us to offer them like a week of usage of the information and workshop area. So this one we were working with 9 or 10, I think, but the most of the time what we do is that we offer a week for them to make activities. We offer sometimes a budget that's mainly symbolic for them to do activities, and we give them like the freedom for them to offer what they want. So it has been lots of different activities. By example, we are seeing here that this scuba divers that are volunteers. They were offering something like, I don't know, like a craft or building something with waste materials. These other were making a conference, and it has been a lot. Like, it has been like cine club of people. It was very interesting because it was organized also by the scuba divers of that place, and they invited people of Protección Civil, like an organization here in Mexico that know how to solve things in disaster catastrophes and give support, social support to certain kind of these events. And they were telling people how how to face problems of health that you get problems. So it was a speech, a conference for scuba divers of the place. So it was so interesting, but it has been also exchange of clothing, has been like had been like a lot of activities. I will go a little bit faster. Another workshop. This is me again, a collaborator, Lola, that she was giving this workshop of making masks with children of this. It was a little town at northern Mexico. Those are posters of the programming of each week. It was one of the montage, and it was, you can see here, for example, sirens of the ocean. Here's Fragatas del Pacífico. And they were offering these three activities. They were offering these 4, and they were offering these 5. These ones that are the scuba divers, and each of the weeks there were like between 3 and 5 activities. So in 2 months we were able to offer like in average more than 30 activities besides the people that were going to see the installation itself. This is an example of the people that was working with that in Acapulco. And well, I have a lot of pictures of Acapulco, but we've done several setups. Like, I think that has been, we have been in 10 different places. But well, Acapulco is a good one to present because we have such a beautiful space. And another thing to work with people of locality was the fact that we were able through Submarina to give them visibility and also to relate people of the context to groups or organization of the very city, of the very same city or the very same town, for them to know there is people there doing like social environmental work. So it was a way to give them visibility, for people to donate or to be part of the activities, or maybe joining these organizations, or maybe to know that people as they themselves is just doing something in the context to trying to help a little bit what the pollution is going. So it has a lot of lines of work. This is another kind of collaboration. It was a commission that we did to an artist that give workshop to children, and they paint this beautiful mural. And it was a collaboration with Fundación Pasos also. That's going to start the presentation in a couple of minutes. And this is the children of the foundation, and they were, and the installation, enjoying, sharing, another kind of collaboration that we've done. Well, it seems that it was a lot of images and a lot to say, but I would like to share with you some pictures about the public, and to tell that that to gather public, as you should know, as cultural agents, is that it's always a challenge, you know, to how to get people to go there. What we do mainly is to make like research about schools or foundations, or maybe through the local groups that we invite to work with us, to collaborate. We try to gather people, but it has been mainly through schools, high schools, and that take people from there to places. And that's the way we've done the most of the presentation of the public that we have been able to gather. And because we can just take the whole school of 800 people or 900 people going by groups of 50 to certain presentations, and to give them like guided visits and to speak about all these subjects. Here are some pictures of different ones. I think that my time is gone. Well, I think that we like a nice introduction of what Submarina could be. And well, before I will just take a few seconds And just to tell you that out from the art, museography strategies, we implement some of these devices. It was empty. This part of the right, it was just an empty area. And we just put here a lot of paper, like little pieces of paper like that, and some tape. And we got these 3 questions here. It's like, what message do you leave for our planet? Do you have any ideas to improve the state of nature? And how do you feel, and what do you like about to be in Submarina? And the people that was visiting, they just started to write what they want on the papers, and they just pasted there, and it was just filled at the end of the, it was just filled of different comments. Very beautiful, because it were people from, like since 4 years old till 60 or 70, and there was such interesting and funny ones. Also, there were like 2,000, I think, papers that we collect at the end, and we make also these kind of notebooks, and people were able to write testimonials of their experience or things they wanted to share. And well, I think I will leave it until here. Thank you for listening, and maybe I can answer some questions or showing you more things in the time that we will have at the end of the session. Thank you for listening and the attention. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Miguel. It was super interesting, and it was good with so many pictures, so you can really get like an idea of how it looks like. I have some questions, but I will not be the first one if someone else want to ask something. I wondered a little bit if you have like, because you talk in the beginning of the presentation, you talk about like a keyword being change, and I wonder a little bit how is the reaction of the public meeting, like coming there, but also maybe if you have an idea of how project maybe continues after you've been there, or do you have like any research or contact with people in the areas you've been on how like maybe awareness of like environmental problem kind of reach out also to communities?
If I'm correct, you're asking if we have something like a continuity of this?
Yeah,
or like a monitoring of what happened after?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a weak point of what of our labor, as happens with lots of independent work, is that we are not following ups of what happened to the places. It's something that we have spoke with the team, but it's so hard sometimes to know it, because as it is like an open exhibition sometimes, well, it could be seen as an open exhibition. So there's lots of people that goes there to visit and to take the workshops, and that we are not making like a program with a particular groups of people. Yeah, we are not going to give a workshop or something to 20 people particularly. So we are gathering and receiving like groups and groups and groups of people. And so we are not giving following ups of the influence of this. We keep in touch with some of the organizations, but the most of the organizations are also independent. So there's no like budget for, it's sad, in that aspect, just not to know how effective it could be, or what people is really adopting in their lives, and mainly daily life in terms of the effect of this. But yeah, it will be beautiful to have like a possibility to give a following up of certain particular sample group of people or something like that, but it hasn't been the case until the moment. Yeah.
As I totally understand, because it's maybe like as big project that you already is doing to do like a after research program also, but in the connection with the organizations, I guess you will get some information. But it's interesting, and it's like the topic of like the ocean and the environment is like, it's very easy to reach kids, because they're more like open to change it, and they don't understand why we need to like put garbage and ruin the environment, and so just to like in somehow affect them and the how they would maybe live when they get older, kind of make some sort of changes. But the adults, I guess, it's maybe harder to reach out to.
Oh, well, yeah, it has been a challenge also because, well, adults are mainly working in daytime, so they don't used to go to cultural activities in general, and some of them are just with positions that are so hard. I have a section here that I wasn't able to arrive, but there's so many different positions of people that are so hard to face. Sometimes people that say, no, there's nothing to do, the contamination is so high that it does not worth to make anything, or, oh, that's so good that you're doing this for children because they are going to save the world, you know.
Yeah.
And so they are giving responsibility to the children, and
Yeah.
or people that does not want to change, does not want to, well, I don't know how, I suppose the situation in Sweden and Mexico is quite different in terms of this kind of responsibility, or the social infrastructure, the political, the management in terms of public policy and management of this should be different. But yeah, adults is difficult to take them there, but also to try to move their hearts in relation to nature, or to move their habits, the habits to new ones that are more like conscious. But I think that's a general situation that we are facing, not just in ecological projects, but also gender, also like colonialism and exploitation, and, you know, violence in different aspects. I think that the people that's adult is the hardest to get interested into committing a change, or to understand the importance for them to be part of a change. But yeah.
Yes. Yeah, but it's interesting also to read your questioning here, or your questions.
Yeah, those are the questions that we have sometimes in different terms of how to relate with the subject, what kind of strategies could we just try to do, improve or at least try to improve the possible effect that our influence have, or how to continue, or how to emotionally be researching about this, or go into context where people tell you that they cannot go swimming the river never again because it's so contaminated, or that maybe animals were gone, or that there are sad stories, or that you search on internet and you find like very sad news, and how to move, or how to deal with that emotionally, but also like how to understand the situation, because as a human, even if you can rationally connect with the ecological collapse or emergency that we are crossing through, that's not just climate change as people are speaking in this moment. There's a lot of subjects related with ecological collapse. So the problem itself is not easy to process, at least for me, you know, like just to think like, oh, wow, that's all this happening. You know, lots of animals are just getting extinct, and there's also, so and why is happening all this, and what's the root of what all these problems. And yes, so it's been like questions that we have had and discussed in the group or myself, and well, that's a part of some things I wanted to share. I don't know if there is more questions.
Thank you so much, Miguel. It was super interesting.
Thanks to you also for listening, and the attention, and the space for presenting to you that are so far what we are doing here.
So now, Karina and Andres.
Okay. Hi, good morning. Thank you very much for this invitation. We are very excited for this opportunity to share with you our project. We also live in Mexico City, and Fundación Pasos have like 16 years working with children with disability, several disabilities. And we always have the challenge how to make the inclusion of this child in the society. So Fundación Pasos have many services.
We work with different kind of persons with many services. We are involved in development of kids through therapy, like physical therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy, And also we are like very involved to the creation of community and to sharing this part of the society, like get involved families with kids with disabilities, with other people with regular kids, That's why we think about a project that we call Pasos a la Obra. In English, it's like hands-on project, like steps through the projects, through make projects, And this activity, it's related with regular schools and schools for persons with different disabilities. The idea is create a space that foments like the interaction of kids and to break these paradigms, that are wrong about disabilities. Many times the persons that doesn't like get close to these kind of persons, it's like, no, I'm scared about it. I don't know what to say. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel, And the approach to that persons, it's like barriers, it's separate our society. That's why this project was like elaborated with many states of Mexico, many parts, different parts, and get involved these two kind of universe, different universe. One it's like the kids of regular school, That's it. Inclusive traveling art workshops that get involved. That two kind of I don't want to say kind of persons, but see, these two different universe. One is the regular school, and the other one is like a program for persons with disabilities, and bring these two families together and interact through the art, through their like share moments of creation, like painting, like music, making music, and get to know each other. Here in Mexico, we have several problems or many challenges, to this inclusion of the people with disabilities. Because there exists a different way of thinking. That's why the first step in this project is to take the kids with disabilities to the space, to the school of the regular kids. I'm gonna show you a video to make that a little more clear. In the first moment, we bring like the persons with disabilities to the school of the kids. That's when one person like know the other, and we take also artists that are getting involved through many arts that teach a little, not with the proposal of make everyone being an artist. No, it's like a vehicle to engage this interaction between the kids and the families. One of the most like the best of the programs, it's like the painting, because everyone like get involved into the game and to the creation of not a specific like thing. That's why you look many kids like painting.
We find that the art bring more flexible languages to engage the people.
Yeah, with this with this idea, it's like there are many persons that are speechless, that they doesn't have a verbal communication, and through this like how do you say herramientas? It's like with these tools, with these different tools, we can express ourselves from another point of view, no? And doesn't matter if you do the work well or you doesn't know how to do the work, no? In that moment, it's a game, it's play with the other, it's like know another person through these special playtimes. Then the first day, no, the children with disabilities come to the other space, no, and the second part is to bring the regular kids to the school of these kids with the disabilities, and they start to look all the like different space, you know, like a chair wheels, no, like a chair with wheels, like there's not the similar, no, it's not like our space, no, it's to get involved. It's to get this idea of the local and the visitor, no, and make it one side another, no, and all this is taken to the third day. That is the presentation of this moment of what we do in these moments, in these special like moments, no? And there's like a lot of questions, and there's a lot of fears of the people and the artists. Now it's like, what I'm going to do, what I'm going to create with these persons. I remember a guy, no, that the family, it's called Gabriel, no, the family was very worried about, oh no, what the other people gonna say to my kid, what the other persons they are going to get involved with my kid, no, and it was like very nervous, and we surprised, no, because Gabriel is it's a guy that have several disabilities. He's unable to speak. He don't have that like verbal language that we have. But when the other kids know Gabriel, it's the other kid says like, oh, Gabriel told me that he wants to play with me, and I'm going to start to play. I'm going to start to painting with him, no, and it's like beautiful because it's like another way of communication than we don't even know, no, that it can be done. No, that's the goal, no, like to show to anyone, no, like this moment of creation, no, this moment of creativity, no, and it's beautiful, the show of me. We also won the UNICEF recognized, no, of
this special project
of this special project, no, the to like of inclusion, no, it's like also we can reply this little model of interaction of inclusion through the art, no, in many different states, no, of our country. By the way, the final goal is to create community, no, it's to not separate persons of different conditions, no, only for being different, no, and separate ourselves, no, it's like to get all involved, to get more like with more force to live together and to affront our problems, daily problems, no, like a society, no, like a little individual persons. We believe like this idea, no, art as a language, no, it's a way of communication, a different, no, you don't need an interpretation specific, no, it's like more expressive, no, you don't need to have a specific code, no, to know what it's saying, no, the message, it's like very abstract. It's to offer they offer us, no, another way of expression in all senses, no, it's more to make moments, little moments of creativity and interaction, community interaction, to break all that walls that are, no, inside this topic of persons with disabilities. Well, we talk. No, we already talked that Pasos is a foundation that has a lot of programs, and we want to say that this is not clinic part. This is more like sharing moments to be more inclusive with persons. It doesn't have a rehab, no, to any person. It's only to give a place to every one of us, no, to give a voice to the ones that doesn't have it, no, and like make it real persons, no, don't feel that we are separated. No, there's this is that text, no, of Fernando A. Stern. No, his art as a human event is a natural producer of singularities, differences, and diversities. That is a service at the service of enrichment, and that says all. No, it's like everyone have something to learn about this moment. The families, the artists that get involved with the kids, this abstract moment, and like free of judgment of the persons. No, and when it comes to the community, it's really impressive. It's all the creative process. So three important aspects to consider in inclusion. No, it's these three aspects we consider like very much. No, the first is like to approach the culture and art. No, this culture that we all form. No, we only can express as a community through the art. No, it's like a vehicle to make the things happen. You know, the artistic development of the person with disabilities, that's something no, that we can focus on that. No, there's a lot of the kind of artists give the chance to a person with disabilities to make no, maybe no, grow up like an artist, no, an authentic artist. And the third part is the inclusion, no, through the art and the culture. Is like to make better, no, the person through the inclusion, through the art, through know each other and make community. That's a fundamental aspect of this project. No, we know like the creative process is there are many difference, no, but the way we can play, the way that we can like get out of ourselves, of our daily lives, of our work, no, to give a little space to play, no, it's like beautiful to the ideas, no, and if you can give that opportunity since you're a child with young people and different kind of people that have like different ideas, different communities, no, it's super important because that makes friendship, that makes consider the other, that makes community.
And we have to consider that many times the families are so focused in the process of rehabilitation and sometimes forgot that the child needs to play. So we find it's very important to make these places for the play, these spaces for the play.
Yeah, not only focus on the therapy process, on the rehab process. Okay, art, that's another good another sentence that we like. No, it's really to create, no, this bridge between the playground and the things that are considered like real, no, or and it's only focused on like the convivence of two persons or the society.
And we also think about the development of the person in the art and the step between the personal experience to the social experience, the individual experience to share the experience with another person.
And also these kind of art practices, no, it's like related to get the engage of environments, no, like it's an easy way, no, to bring another way of communication, another way of languages, no, that also brings the chance to get heard, no, to get heard about the voice of everyone that independent of the condition. No, that's that we like want to be the inclusion in the social inclusion.
So we find that the art is the perfect vehicle to make this inclusion possible. Thinking in these people who have several disability and they hasn't another way to expression.
In this game, no, to change the spaces, no, that you regular goes, no, you are like commonly like go to my school, everything is day by day, everything is the same, no. When you like get out of your space, no, and you expose yourself to another like challenge or a different challenge, it like reveals that meaning for it has the for people, no, and to show off all that interaction, no, like leaving your universe, your school, no, to get involved in another, and that process to create something different and get exposed, no, to the community. There are like different moments to take more value, no, to these people, no, and this social exchange, it's really helpful and like and for the grow, no, of the interaction of the capacities and inclusion.
And the third place is in the community or the
that's the complete process, no. Someone comes to your school, then you go to the school of the other, all that process, no, make art expression that shows to the community. That's the complete circle, no, of this social exchange, no. That's what I mean.
And we make this project not only here in Mexico City. We present this project in other states and very small cities. And we find that the last meeting in the community to share what we do in these previous meetings, it was like the event of the city, and everybody participate in this. Not only the families of the child, all the community was present.
Yes, that is more like beautiful, no. In these big cities, it's difficult, no, to show like these little interactions, but when you leave your city and go to a little town, no, it represents so much more than we can see, no, that only this playground of the kids, no. It's really beautiful to see the communities like get involved in all the process, in the show off, and it's like the event of the year, no, for that communities.
Do you remember this example of this guy that walk in his town and always see this girl with the disability, and he cross the street?
Yeah, he crossed the sidewalk and says like, no, I don't know what to do with this person because I feel horrible, no, see that condition. But when she came to this workshop, no, to this Pasos a la obra, no, at the end we're like, no, I don't know why I was doing that, because it's another person, and it's like super cute person with me. I make like an idea in my head that doesn't match with the reality, no. And this last like sentence, no, art is not a thing, art is a path, and that's it, no. We are like not no, we're sure, no, that it's not like the best, no, artwork, no, of the kids, but it's like the path to get to be an artist, or the path to get to make community, or the path to share process with someone else, or to know another person of your community.
And also we want to share that Mexico is a country of a lot of diversity, and it's a lot of different thinking about disabilities. There are still persons that have a shame, or families that don't want to
visibilize her children, because my children has a disability. I don't want to show to the people this problem, and it makes like a lot of mental diseases. It's like a horrible way of thinking, and this idea is try to get this a step,
broke these barriers, these social barriers. And it's this last video that we think shows everything.
That video shows everything. It's a kid with disabilities and the kid without, a regular kid, sharing the color, and like without prejudgment of the situation. I share the color, and then I show you what I do with my my colors, and was like, oh no, it's beautiful, and then the guy also shows his work, and that's it. These little moments of playing, these little moments of integration, these little moments, it's like the special thing of this. And when you take out that concept, not only on the kids, you take out through the families, it's better, because the families get like a little recognize of their selves, on the society. It's like, the persons doesn't have to like take off or take away. My kid forms part of this community.
And we work this project with different ages, like kinder kids, like teenagers, and we use not only artistic class, we also use music to the same goal.
Yeah, it's the same purpose. We don't have videos of the music part, but because we didn't find that videos, we lost it. But it's like the art, it's the path of the art, to get engagement and to get engaged the community.
Thanks. I actually have a question. I think since you both are here, and since you both are here, like Miguel also, it would be interesting to try to understand if you can explain an example, like maybe you both can see, you and Miguel can tell us a little bit about like how does it work, the ateliers with Submarina, for example? Like if you can like explain a little bit more concrete how it's the interaction of these two projects.
Well, there's some parts to get they're both are spaces to take away the children to another space. Also this Submarina where like a place to interact through this artistic show off and bring kids of different schools with disabilities and without disabilities. Also I remember that Submarina works like that, in sometimes, and also all this clinic part, get involved, to take care about the kids of disabilities, to get not like to get explained, that it's like, let's play with the fishes, and you can do this, you cannot do that, no, you can touch this, you cannot touch that. It's like a space that the art generates to that conversation, that yes, the share of that moment, no?
Miguel, you are there?
Yeah, I'm here. What I can add, because I think we have different approaches. Yes, because as I think that Fundación Pasos does through Andres and Karina and the team they have, is that way of they were exposing to connect like regular schools with special schools and made this kind of bridges of sharing as a having the goal of inclusion, no, for the people to think about disabilities in a different way. For me or for us in Submarina, the relation, because we have collaborated in different ways with Fundación Pasos, and some of those times we have been able to get new publics, that because as Submarina is focused on ecological subjects and is not particularly defined by the public or the groups of people we work with. So for us to have the opportunity to collaborate with them has been the opportunity to relate with other new publics, and to learn. By example, Genaro, that is part of Submarina team, he knows, he has been giving workshops to people with disabilities and have experience with that. So, but for the others of us has been a learning on how to deal with these communities, or how to learn to change the activities for them to be able to participate or to feel fine, and how to deal with all this communication. Yes, because it's people that you cannot tell them directly how to manage the waste, because, well, they have different abilities and that they are not independent, that they can take decisions about how they manage the waste in the houses. No, so I think that has been beautiful, because also Submarina as an installation, as you saw in some of the pictures I shared, it wasn't a space in which the people from the foundation was able to find a place to feel good, to feel fine, to enjoy that kind of installation. But I remember that in that edition of Submarina, they create out from the art workshops they have, because maybe Karina and Andres today, they didn't focus that much of all the dimensions of the art and the art projects that they do inside Pasos, but they focus on one of the projects. But the people of the foundation is very related with art processes. So when we did the Submarina in Fundación Pasos, the children from there with the teachers of the workshop, they built some art, and it was part of the installation. And then when they went into the installation, and they saw the works they did, and they were just part of the installation itself, because they make like fishes or animals, and they have a part. And inside of this, it was so beautiful, because they feel they were part of that huge installation. And that out from our collaboration that we made with Pasos, we were working mainly in the online version of Submarina that I was not able to share because of timing. But in that moment, we make activities with groups of people that have groups of mainly children that have disabilities, and through Genaro and Karina, that gave us guidelines how to deal with that, or therapists from the foundation, because the foundation have a big team of therapists also. We got support from them to know how to manage the groups and how to change or how to modulate the activities that we were thinking inside Submarina to fit the needs and possibilities of the children of the foundation.
And Karin?
Yeah, it was not really a question maybe, but I'm thinking of like art as it could be also, it could also be like an experience or something beautiful at the same time as they have like it have different levels of, information. So it could like reach out to, I guess, many different groups of people at the same time, because you have like something serious underlaying also, as well as like I see your installation is like this, just this beautiful rooms that is of course also connected to how beautiful the sea and the underwater life is in a way. This was just a thought.
Mariangela
thank you.
had to leave, but thanked for sharing the experiences and the stories. It was very nice to hear different ways of working, especially when we compare and how the work is done here, or like how the work is done in other countries.
Yeah, definitely. Yes.
So anyone else has a question? So, well, I think I can just leave the invitation here for our next meeting. Next week is the last one. And this information will be all in the website. So I hope more people can see and enjoy and maybe be inspired of this wonderful projects that we saw today. Thanks, Miguel. Thanks, Karina. Thanks, Andres.
Yes, thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Thank
too.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you too. And well, that's a beautiful space what you have to give the voice for projects as ours to share with the people that's there, or the publics that are gathering around the organizations of the museum, or the KUBN project that you have. I think that's a beautiful project for you to share with the people that's linked to your activities. I hope that everything goes fine, and thank you once again.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Everybody.
Bye-bye.